NASCAR actually did it. Chase Elliott, driver of the number 9 car for Hendrick Motorsports, will not compete in this Sunday's NASCAR Cup Series race at Gateway following this crash involving him and Denny Hamlin following Monday's Coca-Cola 600, when Chase Elliott straight up right hooked Denny Hamlin head on into the outside wall in the tri-oval of the Speedway. Luckily, Hamlin is okay. But yeah, I'm just going to reiterate some of the points I said in my Monday review, that this is borderline the exact same thing that Bubba Wallace and Larson incident at Vegas last fall. Had the same result of Bubba being suspended. It's only fair that Chase Elliott would be suspended for his actions on Denny Hamlin. So that was not surprising, at least for me, because for some reason there were some people that were under the assumption that Chase Elliott would not be suspended by NASCAR because, you know, he drives for Hendrick Motorsports and all that stuff. Or you have some delusional fans that would try to say that Chase Elliott's incident is nothing like Bubba's incident when it's the exact same thing. So it's great to see that NASCAR be consistent and suspend Chase Elliott, which was the only right decision. Now, Denny Hamlin, on his episode of Actions Detrimental, went all out on Chase Elliott's fans and all that stuff. If you want to listen to it, listen, even though this would be taking place before the announcement today. I highly encourage you listen to it because it is very entertaining, to say the least. Now, the reaction from that, Hendrick Motorsports said that they will not appeal that penalty, and also Chase Elliott would have to get a waiver to compete for the championship, which he will, but that is, you know, clean and done with. Now, the reaction. We know Denny Hamlin's reaction following the incident, but some other drivers like Corey LaJoie had a different take on that.
I don't think it's the same scenario. I don't believe that Chase should be suspended. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. It's not a good look, but yeah. But then again, the 5 squeezed Bubba into the fence more egregiously than the 11 stuck the 9 in the fence in this instance too. So I don't think it's the same. I don't think it should be governed the same. I agree with you that it should be kind of judged in the vacuum of the scenario, what led up to it, and post-race comment and things like that. What was said on the radio, they can take all that into effect. And I don't think there was no inkling, and I think Chase did a pretty good job of not showing one inkling of it, like crashing my purpose in any interview on the radio or anything else.
And the Oscar goes too.
And the Oscar goes too. So, I mean, hey, like, that's smart,
though.
That matters. Hey, that matters into the whole scenario of how they govern this thing. I don't know. I would be surprised if Chase is sitting on the couch.
So you're probably wondering, why was Corey LaJoie basically defending Chase Elliott, trying to stay face? Well, it's because of this. It's because of this. Chase Elliott's replacement is Corey LaJoie. That is right. Corey LaJoie will replace Chase Elliott in the 9 car at Gateway this Sunday. Now, this is a surprising announcement. I think all of us knew it wasn't going to be a junior motorsports driver like Josh Berry. Josh Berry was the super sub guy for Hendrick Motorsports. More than likely, he wasn't going to be that guy because the Xfinity Series was going to be racing at Portland. Portland to St. Louis is such a far away locations, and considering the schedules, it just wouldn't work. So we knew it was going to be a completely different driver, but I was not expecting Corey LaJoie. But at the same time, I am not surprised because LaJoie has always been, in my opinion, that overachiever in the sense of he's always doing better than the equipment that he's in. A lot of times you see him in that 7 car, and often you see him in the top 20, sometimes even the top 15 at some points, outperforming his equipment. So I'm not surprised, and I'm glad that he's getting this opportunity at good equipment. But I gotta say about that interview, looking back, it makes so much sense because of course you're gonna stay face. Of course you're gonna try and make it seem that what Chase did was different than what Bubba did, and saying that Chase shouldn't be suspended, yada yada. Of course you're gonna say that. If you know you're gonna replace the guy, you're gonna try and stay face. You're gonna try and stay on Hendrick's good side. Of course you're gonna do that. It was weird at the time, but looking back, I'm like, well, it makes sense. So of course, when you have that, now you're probably wondering, well, who's going to take over LaJoie's ride? Well, it's going to be Carson Husavard. That's right, the current full-time Truck Series driver for Nice Motorsports, who scored his first win earlier this year at Texas and also drove for Spire Motorsports in select races for the Xfinity Series. Actually had a good run on Monday night at Charlotte. He's been having some strong runs in the Xfinity Series, but he will replace Corey LaJoie in the Cup Series this Sunday at Gateway. Now, first of all, I gotta say this. Ross Chastain and Carson in the same field in a Cup race. Oh, Lord Jesus, this ain't gonna end too well. I'm just gonna put that out there. But on a real note, with Carson, here's the thing. I think Carson has a lot of talent. He is a talented driver. I think this is way too early. First of all, I don't think he's mature enough for Cup. We still see him make a ton of mistakes. On top of that, I feel like there is a lot better experienced drivers that could take over LaJoie's spot. For example, Matt DiBenedetto in the 25 car. He's a former Cup Series driver, has a lot of experience, currently driving a Chevy team. I would assume maybe that driver, maybe a driver like him would take over for that ride. A guy like Husafar, who I think has the potential maybe down the line, where he's more mature enough with his driving style. I feel like he can potentially be a Cup Series driver, far down the line. But right now, I think it's way too early. I understand you want to really develop your talent, like what Front Row Motorsports is doing with Zane Smith, but I don't know. To me, I feel like this is way too early to make a decision or to make this move. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this announcement on Chase Elliott being suspended? Do you think it's the right decision? I think it is. I think it is the complete right decision. And there was nothing else in NASCAR should have done suspending him for one race. They set the precedent last fall. Great that they're being consistent. This is the right move. What are your thoughts on Corey LaJoie taking over the 9 car? Because who knows? We saw what happened with Josh Berry when he took over for Bowman and for Elliott. We saw how good he was. And now there's potential, nothing confirmed, but potential of him maybe replacing Kevin Harvick in the 4 car Stewart Haas Racing. Even though it's going to be only one race, this could be LaJoie's one and only shot to really show what he is capable of doing in top equipment. Because ever since he got into the Cup Series, he has been nowhere near top equipment. He was like Go Fast, and then he went to Spire during his time in the Cup Series. But he's never really had a shot at great equipment outside of what was then the K&N Pro Series back in like 2012, 2013. Outside of that, he's had no shot in good equipment. So this could be his one and only chance to really show everyone what he's capable of doing. And if he does run well, who knows? Who knows what could happen down the line? But yeah, I think LaJoie, that's going to be very interesting. And Carson Husafar, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that move. I get it. You want to be able to nurture that young talent, but I don't know. I feel like it may be a bit too early. But I'm very interested to seeing how those two drivers do this Sunday at Gateway. But what are your thoughts on any of those stories? Let me know in the comment section down below. And until next time, my name is Jett from MDK. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.